both of these guys working their tail off. They're both well respected by their teammates. They're really, really good leaders. And that's a good thing. In the past, he's also said that both are considered starting caliber quarterbacks. Harry, you are up first. Of these two QBs, sir, who do you believe in more?
I'm going to have to go with Jameis Winston. I'm going to have to go with the guy who, in his career, has threw for over 9,000 yards, 121 touchdowns. Now, I know he has the interceptions, Max, because I know that's what you're going to go to. I know he's throwing the interceptions. He's part of the 30-30 club. I understand that. But I'm going to have to go with Jameis Winston because I think overall, as a whole, Jameis Winston makes this offense thrive better than Taysom Hill can. Now, you look at guys like Michael Thomas, you look at Marquez Callaway, you look at Traquan Smith, Adam Troutman at the tight end position. Those guys can thrive more in my eyes if Jameis Winston is the quarterback. Now I'm going to take it a step deeper. You look at Alvin Kamara. You don't want him to diminish, or you don't want his game to diminish because Taysom Hill is at quarterback. That's what I seen last year when Taysom Hill was starting for this football team. I seen Alvin Kamara, his numbers go down, his production go down because of the simple fact that you have a running, gadget guy at quarterback in Taysom Hill. So I'm going to have to go with Jameis Winston, Max. I'm just sorry.
Look.
You can take a deep breath.
Jameis Winston was a former #1 overall pick.
Yes.
He's a national champion.
Yes.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Yes.
He's led the league in passing yards.
Yes.
He's been to a Pro Bowl. I mean,
yes.
Come on, right? He was going to be the face of a franchise. This is a slam dunk, right? This is easy. Jameis Winston. Not to me, it's not so fast. I don't know which one of these two guys, to be quite honest. But if I had to guess, I think I would go with Taysom Hill. Jameis Winston can throw it. Taysom Hill can run it, right? Like, let's boil it down. And when you talk about the 30-30 club, when I was growing up, that meant Bobby Bonds, Barry Bonds' dad. He goes 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. That's what that meant. 30 interceptions in the modern NFL. Lord. I think the reason, other than the resume, which is very impressive for Jameis, right up until you get to a little more mature part of his career in the pros, is the devil you know. You know, you don't know what Taysom Hill can or can't do. Not really. You've seen small sample sizes, and you have some suspicions, as I do. And when I say Jameis Winston's resume, it's very impressive. Taysom Hill, on the other hand, gadget player, right? But I know Sean Payton. I mean, that's some gadget, though. He can really run. He can catch. He can throw. He can actually not just throw the ball, but actually read a defense and play the quarterback position. It's impressive. I know when Sean Payton, when we were down in Miami, and Sean Payton came on the show, he said the same thing off camera that he said on camera, which was he believes in Taysom Hill. Now, I get it at the time. Teddy Bridgewater's about to get a little more expensive. You figure you got a guy on the roster who can do what Bridgewater does. You don't have to pay the same and everything. I get it. But he had no interest that I could see, nothing to gain by hoodwinking me, right? Like, why would he actually seem genuine that he believed in this guy? Now, if you have a guy like Sean Payton saying that about a player who we've already seen surprise us, let's be honest about Taysom Hill. At first, it's like, yeah, just gadget guy. And then the more you watch him, you go, actually, he does that pretty well. He does that pretty well, too. He does that pretty well, too. And has never really been given the opportunity. If his numbers looked a little bit like a Tua Tagovailoa, right, that's because he's had about the same number of reps in the pros when Tua got the ball taken away from him a bit. But they were winning. Do I think they can win with Taysom Hill? Do I think they could have a winning record? I do. And I think in the NFL, if you're throwing 30 interceptions in a year, that's hard to have a winning record. That same team, a lot of the same guys who he only won 7 games with, won the Super Bowl 1 year later when they got a guy who didn't throw 30 interceptions.
So here's my question, Max. You say they can win with Taysom Hill. Can they win at the level that's expected in New Orleans with Taysom Hill?
No.
So why would you start him?
Because I don't think you can do that with Jameis Winston either.
I think you can. I think you can.
Win a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Challenge for one?
He had the opportunity to sit behind Drew Brees, learn from his mistakes, understand the ins and outs of the game, right? You never get tired of putting money in the bank, man. Just take those checkdowns. He's learned that. He sat behind a Hall of Famer in Drew Brees, so he can learn those qualities.
But can he take care of the football? Let's bring in NFL Live's Mina Kimes. Mina, what are your thoughts on all this? The guys are kind of split here.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to...
Beautiful shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I was listening to Max, and I was making crazy facial expressions when he said we don't know what we have in Taysom Hill. Max, Taysom Hill's been on this football team for years. There was a season in which they decided not to start him. They went with Teddy Bridgewater. because they knew what they had in Taysom Hill. We're talking about Teddy versus Drew in Denver. The Saints decided he was worse than Teddy Bridgewater. Then last season, you got 4 starts. One of them you can throw out the window because it was against the Denver's backup. 2 of them were against the Falcons' defense. Jameis is actually more of a variable at this point in Taysom because of what Harry said. You don't know if he's learned to take care of the football. You do know he can lead an explosive passing attack. And I want to talk about the turnovers because that's the main critique with Jameis Winston, and it is deserved. You do not want a quarterback who's going to turn the ball over 30 times and diminish any chance you have of winning games with this defense. But Taysom Hill fumbled the ball 10 times last year. That is 3rd in the NFL. He started 4 games, and he ranked 3rd in the NFL in fumbles. That's a different kind of turnover, and it poses a different kind of risk for this offense because you know he's going to get all of those carries. I have watched every snap of both of these quarterbacks in the preseason. I don't think either has really pulled away, but last year, both threw interceptions. I thought Taysom Hill's interception was actually worse, and to me, this is a quarterback competition that's going to go down to the wire, but Jameis Winston gives this offense more upside.
Mina, I'm glad you brought that up because when I watched that film from last week, Max, and I look at the 2 interceptions, right? One by Jameis Winston, one by Taysom Hill. The receiver for Taysom Hill is coming wide open on a 5-yard shallow route, and you missed him for an interception. Jameis Winston, his interception, he's eluding traffic in the pocket, right? Throwing the football downfield, trying to give his wide receiver a chance. Tip ball gets intercepted by the safety. I can live with that more so than I can live with Taysom Hill throwing an interception to a wide open guy who probably could have ran about 30 or 40 yards. Right or wrong, Mina?
Well,
Yeah, 100%.
I agree that I'm not arguing that Jameis Winston doesn't have more upside and the much deeper, more impressive resume.
So
But
why
there's
wouldn't you put him as a starter?
As I said, Jameis Winston turns the ball over. I think Mina makes a good point about fumbling. But Jameis Winston threw 30 interceptions in a league where guys like Aaron Rodgers just mentioned, you can't have, like a lot of guys don't even want double-digit interceptions, like in the old days, 25 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. Even that's like, could you get that down a little bit? Right. The man threw 30, and the next year you brought in Tom Brady. I get it, but they didn't throw 30 and went from 7 wins to winning the Super Bowl. Taysom Hill has limited upside, no question about it. Is his floor also lower than Jameis Winston's? I don't know about that.